excited and proud of, and that's, thank you, Mary Lee, sorry, that I got to actually talk about yesterday with the State Rehab Council, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but the fact that this old rehab girl here is a consultant to a manufacturing association is definitely one of my proud moments. So being connected to manufacturing in this chapter of my career is teaching me new things and giving me new incentives to think about the world of work for people who attest with disabilities. So I'll go through our team. Mary Lee, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Mary Lee Boylan. I'm the Director of Employment Programs for Strong Center for Developmental Disabilities. And we will mention this later, but I want to share some good news with you all. We did get a 2-year extension of our funding from the Council of Developmental Disabilities. So our project will be continuing further and more in depth.
Miss Brandy.
I'm Brandy Solomon, the Employment Project Coordinator for Advanced to Apprenticeship, and I'm from the Strong Center for Developmental Disabilities with the University of Rochester.
Okay, no bragging.
Well, I'm bragging. I feel like my brag is in my presentation, but I am very excited that our first cohort is finishing up today in the Mohawk Valley. Well, tomorrow.
Nice. I know we get to showcase. Okay. Colleen.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Colleen Blagg, and I am the Manager of Apprenticeship and Workforce Development at the Manufacturers Association of Central New York.
Awesome. And then Martha.
Good morning. I'm Martha Ponji. I'm the Director of National Apprenticeships at the National Institutes for Innovation and Technology, and I work as a consultant on this project.
Cool. Mary Kress.
Hello. Am I unmuted?
Yes, you are.
Can you hear me? Okay. My name is Mary Chris Smith. I'm with the Workforce Development Board. I'm the program director for the Career Pathways program. And we just recently found out that we have a 1-year extension for Career Pathways, which is wonderful news. And my brag, if you will, is I was able to get the Advanced to Apprenticeship program added to our list of allowable credentials. So for eligible students, they will be able to enroll with Career Pathways and receive a $300 graduation incentive check for completing their program.
Ooh. Well, that okay. No, somebody's got to try and top that one now, guys. I don't know. I know that, Mary. I would have left you for last, but now you have the rest of the crew's got a challenge.
I like to surprise the whole group, not just one or two here. That was kind of news probably for everyone here. So
thank you.
Awesome. Now, Colleen, we have another thing to put on our systems impact slide. Woohoo!
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. So, Ashley.
Good morning. Ashley Basilio. I'm the Regional Business Service Coordinator for Access VR, and we have been one of the referral sources for the Advanced to Apprenticeship. We have some individuals attending the program.
Miss Dawn.
Hello, my name is Dawn Gentile. I'm the Director of all the vocational services at Upstate Caring Partners. I guess my brag would be that we took advantage of a benefits advisement grant, and we just finalized the test of 7 of us employees that could be practitioner, will achieve that. And we just have to do a real life case. So I've never had 7 staff that are able to do benefits advisement. So that's really good.
Woohoo, another win, another win. Summer.
Hi, everyone. I'm Summer Edwards. I am the project director for the Regional Apprenticeship Development and Readiness Grant through the Workforce Development Board. Always a lot of exciting stuff going on whenever we're talking about apprenticeship, but we are just coming off of National Apprenticeship Week, which was a few weeks ago. We had a lot of wonderful events. If you weren't able to attend and you'd like to see the recordings, please feel free to reach out. There's a lot of great resources and information that was shared.
Thank you, dear. And I apologize, but it's coming up in my thing, DPOHOREC, and I don't remember your first name, so I'm bad. So please introduce yourself so I don't forget again.
Sure, no problem. This is Darren Parecki. I'm a senior vocational rehab counselor at the Utica District Office. I supervise the counselors that are working with some of the individuals that were involved with the apprenticeship program. So just kind of to get some more information so I have a full understanding of what all the components are.
Perfect, perfect. So you can advance the next slide, and I think where Brandy takes over here, or Marilee. I'm not sure. Marilee, go girl.
So just a reminder of what our goals are. Our goal for the Advanced to Apprenticeship project is to improve access to apprenticeship work opportunities for people who identify as having an intellectual or developmental disability. And this is a pilot. We're focusing in the manufacturing industry, and we're really pushing in information we're pushing in information into the career and tech ed programs about universal design. We're also pushing in information to the business community on how to support people with disabilities and what resources are out there. This project is pre-apprenticeship, so it's really meant to build entry-level skills for folks and being able to enter at an entry-level high-demand careers. And also to be exploratory. So people are trying to figure out in pre-apprenticeship, is this a really good fit for me? Is this a career that I would like to be a part of? I'm going to hand it off to Brandy.
So Mohawk Valley Community College, our first cohort, like I was saying, tomorrow will make the end of class for our first cohort that we're so excited was able to get together all fall for a basic manufacturing course. There were 8 students who applied, but 7 end up being active. We are very proud that all 7 of them were able to achieve their OSHA 10 certification. We were able to meet with the guys and see them get their cards, and everyone was very excited to have a credential that is now portable that they can take into them for a leg up in any employer. The guys also got to have some CNC machining, technical exploration, as well as a tour of Riverhawk, which is in the Utica area, and we learned so much about just how they are a very inclusive employer and looking to continue to diversify their employee base. They're a smaller employer that has an international reach, but that is one of the cool parts we've been learning in Utica, that there are many small and large industrial manufacturers who are looking to bring new energy into their businesses. And so we're here to help link that bridge. We also wanted to give a shout out for our power skills instructor and tutor who did a phenomenal job with ensuring the students were able to get that wraparound support in effective communication and resume development, as well as interview prep.
She also happens to be the disability resource coordinator for your area, Nicole Sortino. So that's why we want to make sure we give her a shout out, because you guys should definitely check her out if you haven't, or encourage people to work with her too.
Absolutely. She's definitely phenomenal. And along with partnering with MACNY, with Colleen, we were able to have an interview day that was held on Monday, and Wolf Speed and DM and Dan Frost was there, and we're looking forward to hearing the results from the guys that were able to interview with those employers, because the goal is employment for all, but also continuing with that education piece. We know that related instruction is a part of apprenticeship, and really giving the students that opportunity to continue to explore is what this is all about. So through the MVCC Fast Track program, which is a 1-week free program, we have 4 out of the 7 students already enrolled to take some additional education opportunities. So 3 of them will be doing a robotics class, and 1 of them will be in computer information.
And I just wanted to interject really quickly because I was there for the interview night.
Yeah.
All of the participants did a really great job. They dressed professionally. Some of them had job coaches with them during the interviews, and I got a lot of really great feedback from the employers about how well the candidates did, and I would expect to see some job offers from that.
Yay!
That's
Awesome.
exciting.
Mary Chris, get those checks ready, girlfriend. No. There we go.
I think Nicole Sortino, the instructor, did a phenomenal job of preparing the individuals for the interview night. They all seemed like they had a lot of confidence and were excited to interview with all 3 of the employers.
Oh, so everybody got to interview with 3 different employers, Colleen?
That's right.
Yes.
So everyone got 3 interviews, and they were not practice interviews. They were for real jobs that were available, and the individuals did have to apply for open positions prior to being interviewed.
Nice.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. It was just the other night, so I haven't had a chance to get in touch with you guys. So
That's okay. That's okay. You can that's what this meeting's for, is to brag. I mean, maybe we're close to top and Mary. I don't know. She's got the we shouldn't always just base it on money. I think 3 job interviews for each person is an amazing outcome for a project like this. This is cool.
I just wanted to say I want to say something really quickly because I want to be clear. It is very exciting news, but it is also unfortunately only for those that'll be eligible for it. And I am in the works with Nicole on making sure that the folks who are eligible will have applications completed. So
okay, I apologize. I'm teasing you too much.
Not to be Debbie Downer, but I just want to be clear. So
there are rules for everything, friend. That's okay. We understand.
We can still brag with Summer and Radar.
Yes. Well, I do believe right. Summer, almost all of the students, if not all of them, had a level of eligibility for shoes and uniforms already, because I remember that was something Nicole did in the beginning of the class.
Yeah, so Radar was able to help pay for the program as well as give them all $200 completion stipends, which I believe they will receive tomorrow if they haven't already received them. And then we were able to supply them with clothes for their interviews. And then if they do get a job and decide to take that job, and any boots or tools or PPE or uniforms are required, we can support that cost as well.
Amazing.
Yay for Mohawk Valley.
Impact, Pat.
Oh, this is us, Colleen. So we are certainly taking the delight in sharing that New York now has a new eligibility packet or an eligibility classification for people with disabilities under direct entry. Direct entry is a pre-apprenticeship opportunity, but I'm gonna, since Colleen's on the call, I'm gonna let Colleen do this one for us because she does it better than me. So Colleen, would you tell people a little bit about direct entry, why it's important and why we're excited? Because Real Life Rosie's is doing really, really well, and now we'll have this one under the MACNY umbrella as well. So I like the way you do it. Will you do it?
So for those of you who don't know what a direct entry program is, it's kind of a term that's really only used in registered apprenticeship. So a direct entry program is a pre-apprenticeship training program that is recognized by the New York State Department of Labor. In order to be a direct entry program, you must provide both an introduction and some technical skills instruction. You also have to provide power skills instruction, have some wraparound support services, and a connection with a group or with a sponsor of registered apprenticeship. So our program actually meets all the, well, in addition to that, you also have to target underrepresented groups. sorry, I'm kind of in an open area right now. So you also have to target underrepresented groups for recruitment. So the state of New York recently expanded the definition of what an underrepresented group is, and is now including individuals who may have a disability as part of recruitment for direct entry. So this program, in addition to targeting individuals who may have disabilities, it is an inclusive program. So we will also be targeting women, veterans, individuals from and other individuals from underrepresented groups as part of this program, and it will meet the definition of a direct entry program. So we will be applying to become a direct entry program, and it will be the first of its kind in New York State. So we're excited about that, and we hope to continue it in the spring and beyond.
Thank you. So, talking about continuing, we are in the mix of conversations about our next cohort, and we are accepting interest applications now. So we're looking at spring, potentially late April, to start our next cohort for basic manufacturing at Mohawk Valley Community College. With that being said, we will be gearing up to do more recruitment. So with the information already being out there a little bit, we're hoping to get more interest in sooner so that we can have our class filled. Starting with 7 this past fall was great, but we have the ability to go up to 12 students with and without disabilities. So we're definitely looking to continue to get the information out that this opportunity exists, and we're looking to have people involved in it. All right, so we have been on the road. Pat,
yes, we have, and we've been on the road be promoting what we've been doing. I was honored to represent the team with Martha as she facilitated a national webinar meeting for businesses around all different aspects of building diversity in your company. And so working with NIIT was exciting. We also presented to New York State Rehab Council, and that went very well. Actually, the State Rehab Council these days is made up of quite a few people from independent living. So one of the things that they were asking us was about, eligibility and tests that might need to be taken. And we, Marilee, very aptly shared with them that it wasn't about screening anyone out, but screening everybody in and figuring out how to support people based on their abilities and their needs, so that we could make sure that anyone could assist, and how we were talking about universal design learning and all those things. So I think the council has a better perspective that it isn't, although it's targeted and we're specifically looking at times individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, the concept is everybody working together, no matter who you are and what your abilities are. So I think they were a little astonished by that, but pleased with that as advocates at the State Rehab Council. And then, as you see here, we've got some presentations to BOCES committees on special education. And we're also, with the announcement that Marilee shared with you, to tell you more later in this PowerPoint, but we're really wanting to target younger students. So not just waiting till that junior, senior year, but actually figuring out how to bring the information about manufacturing as a valid and good, solid career pathway for any kid earlier in their job search discussion is what we're going to be focused on a little bit more in the next 2 years. Brandy.
So along with our additional focus, we wanted to just give a quick recap about what else we have going on within the Advanced to Apprenticeship project. So we're working with the Center for Workforce Development here in Rochester, as well as MVCC. And we are literally in enrollment phase right now for CWD in Rochester, because classes start in spring, which really means February. So if you happen to know anyone in the Rochester area that you want to share this information with, word of mouth has been really big with starting those conversations with folks just, you know, about apprenticeship in general. But then overall, like, oh, what, your nephew's 18? Wait a minute. Well, does he have going on? So making sure that we are bridging those connections. As a reminder, at the Center for Workforce Development, we're actually pushing into 3 classes, which are machining, industrial operator, and welding. And so far, we have 3 applicants for welding who are pending their TABE, which is the basic adult education assessment for their admission status. And of course, if you have more questions about either of our programs, please let me know. So that call to action is, like I'm saying, all about marketing support, that word of mouth. If there are community fairs that are happening, whether in person or virtually, there's not a group too small or big for us that we would love to share this information with. So those additional agency connections, maybe you have a high school graduate or someone preparing to graduate that maybe has limited classes during the day and could take an evening class with advanced apprenticeship. Either way, letting them know our information, connecting them with me, and I can do the rest with giving them all of the details about the project and how it could potentially help them to advance to apprenticeship. So of course, if you need any more materials, we're sending them out, but also you could, you know, maybe you want something catered to a particular social media, just let me know. Marilee.
So as I had mentioned before, we were just granted 2 additional years in this grant project. So that will really allow us to look at these first cohorts, make some adjustments as we're going, making the programs better. We're realizing how much hunger there is for the career and tech ed instructors to get more information on universal design principles. We opened up a class and it was pretty much filled immediately. So we would like to reach out to other career and tech ed institutions in the state and kind of spread that information to other places. As Brandy mentioned earlier, we would like to build that pipeline and collaborate with RTMA and MACNY to connect with younger students who have IEPs to make sure that they understand that a career in manufacturing could be possible for them. And what am I missing? Oh, there is a lot of apprenticeship work happening throughout the state. There is a lot of people talking about how to make apprenticeship and manufacturing more accessible to more people. And we want to bring those people together, have a conversation, see what successes they have had, see maybe what stumbling blocks that they have, and potentially build a cohort or a collaborative group, and see if there's any power in working together. So we would like to host that as well. So thank you again for being here this morning.
Mm-hmm. Pat.
So with all that great news and all the great bragging that went on amongst our colleagues here, believe it or not, many of you have been doing this with us for 3 years already. Does it feel like 3 years? No. Of course not, because we made it so much fun and we made it so exciting and we made sure that there were cool things happening that were changing the way you do business. And that's just my pitch to say, since we got 2 more years, we still need an advisory team. And we're hoping that you guys will consider recommitting to sticking with the project. So in our minutes, when we send them out with this recording as well, we'll be asking you to let us know if you'd still like to participate as part of the Mohawk Valley Advisory Committee. But we're also going to pitch a challenge to encourage you to bring along a friend, someone else that you told about A2A that also could serve in some role to assist us in the next 2 years of doing the things that Marilee just shared with you, but also bridging some other gaps, maybe in working with other folks to also help what goes on at Mohawk Valley in general for the Mohawk Valley Community College in general with all the the things around manufacturing. And to kind of add to that pitch, I've asked Martha to give us a little perspective on what's happening on a national level to that New York needs to pay attention to. And so, Martha, if you wouldn't mind just letting people know what you know from a national perspective, federal funding, whatever that we need to pay attention to. So, and yet it's another exciting piece to what's going to happen over the next 2 years.
Thanks, Pat. My organization, the National Institutes for Innovation and Technology, is a USDOL contractor supporting registered apprenticeship. We have been working very closely with the USDOL on diversification of the talent pipeline in advanced manufacturing. While we have been very successful in engaging people like communities of color, those who are coming from other underrepresented orgs, we have not had a tremendous amount of success in engaging with individuals with disabilities. The USDOL and employers nationally are very, very focused on bringing this group of individuals to the table. They provide so many positive aspects to diversification and really haven't been engaged before. There is money that is attached to these engagements. They are putting their money where their mouth is and saying, if there are ways to leverage funding that is coming in from other organizations such as Access VR, any other supportive services, that there are dollars to help leverage so that we can provide training to employers, doing mentor training, providing some of those services for supporting continued academic growth. But just know that the work that's being done here in New York, which is, frontline, just it's great work, is really being noticed and is being replicated at the national level. And we want to keep our hands in that. So we keep telling them what we're doing and that we can continue to support employers and individuals all across New York State.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
We'll open things now for questions, suggestions, ideas, things that we forgot, any other bragging now that you've heard other people talk about things that you want the rest of us to know. And that's the value of an advisory committee, to tell us as the program leads in this project, what makes sense, why did you do that, could you do this differently? I heard a brag from Dawn in regards to benefits planning, and that's become such a hot topic in regards to all that. But I challenged just before we had this call, we had the advisory call with our Rochester colleagues, and I just kind of set a challenge around that word benefit gets stuck, and we talk just money and figuring things out. But manufacturing jobs actually create wages that are at living and above, and most of the folks that we're working with in this project have been living at this level, and now they are going to potentially live at this level. How do they take care of that gap? Are we really talking and helping them the way Nicole got them ready for jobs? Now, are we actually helping them understand that they're going to have a change in the way that their world actually rotates, in some ways? And are we making sure that the benefits discussion isn't just purely, oh, you'll lose your Medicaid, because HR directors in businesses don't know that language. And we tend to focus, because we get paid from the rehab side, on the person. But the system itself, the businesses itself, that's what Martha was just talking about, they don't understand that language. Ashley does a great job in what she does at VR to help businesses see that it's valuable to have a workforce that includes people who attest to having any kind of disability. But how do we help them create an environment that offers people that feeling that they can work there too, along with all the other stuff that goes on? The universal design learning that we've incorporated, did we hit the mark? Should we be doing something different with that? If you were able to participate in any of that, please let Marilee and Brandy know that was great, but, or could we add this? Or I've heard a trainer do this. Do you want to add that to the program? So your role as advisors, we love when you come quarterly, but we would also love to be challenged offer us other ideas, create opportunities because you know someone else that does a training that fits into the way the project works. Help us get this to be even bigger and better for Mohawk Valley, for the state, because also obviously we're hoping that this model could go other places. So we really value your input and your suggestions and your ideas. So I'm going to leave it at that and just ask you guys if anybody has any questions or thoughts or reactions to what I just said. Yes, Ms.
So
Dawn.
Pat, with that though, are you doing that conversation in this class? I mean, is that incorporated about, I love that thought, like, how do you get through that gap? Now you're up here and how do you handle that? Are we approaching that with this group or no? In the lessons? Because that's a great thought.
Honestly, yeah, I know. That's what Nicole was not able to join us today. So I know Summer's listening, but I don't know how much she does do that in regards to actual wages and things. I think that is something we need to revisit. And it's just, I had that inspiration this morning getting ready for these meetings, and I drive Marilee and Brandy crazy that way, the way my brain works sometimes. But
Hey, Dawn, we intentionally
There you
have
go.
connected them with a disability resource coordinator, and they have a background in benefit planning. So that is definitely a focus area that we're offering people and really recommending people gain some information so that they are empowered to understand how that working impacts their benefits and what mechanisms they can utilize.
Right, that's a great start. But I love Pat's conversation that it's bigger than that. Yeah, it's that, you know, that growth that they're going through now, and their budgets are going to look different. I mean, they're going to look better, but how do you handle that? Yeah, that's a great conversation.
Well, I think it's just the next piece of that conversation. It's one thing to talk about you want a living wage, whatever that means in the area that you live. A living wage in Mohawk Valley may not even become close to what you need in New York City, right? So it just, I'm trying, my thoughts sharing now is not to challenge anything, but to just say, where do we go? How do we do this? How do we keep this momentum going? The college also offers some amazing services that maybe we need to tap into. And I'm just thinking in that advisory kind of mode to challenge all of you to think with me if possible, or tell me to just be quiet. I'm going over the board, over the top, as I sometimes do. So, but yet, you know, I think part of this is a full disclosure, a lived experience with my son who is receiving SSI and now is legitimately earning a wage that's over what is making him eligible for SSI payments. And then the whole strategy or the struggle with overpayments and budgeting 2 months in advance and all those fun things that we on the disability side know very well. But as an individual, it's more than you want to think about. And I'm sure businesses also don't want to think that way. So, you know, growing that conversation a little bit differently may be something as a system we need to reevaluate. But more than what this project can handle, right, Marilee? I apologize. I'm digressing. So any other questions, Rick? Pat Douse at it again. Sorry. Colleen, did we any other brag that we didn't get to have you initially when you said any other brags from MACNY that we should be celebrating today from your perspective? You had a busy month for National Apprenticeship Month and week for sure. You were all over the state.
Yeah, we absolutely did. But I think I'm just really proud that, you know, this program got off the grounds at Mohawk Valley, and the interviews the other night went well. And that's just what I'm focused on right now. So,
right. Cool. Okay. Brandy, you want to take us home?
So thank you all for being here today. Happy holiday season to everyone. I know Pat brought up the recommitment for advisory, so you can let any one of us know how you feel about that. And of course, if there's someone else you want to bring aboard, just let us know. So my information is here. Of course, if you know anyone that's also ready to enroll or has an interest, or you want to just share my information so that I can give them more details about the program, please do, especially as we are looking forward to a next cohort. We want to make sure that we are able to share this information as wide and far as possible. Thank you all for being here.
Okie
Thank
dokies.
you.
Take care. Thank you all. Send us
Goodbye.
questions if you have any
Thank
thoughts
you.
too.